Balls is here to talk about all of those details with Town and Country Credit Union. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Kind of talking about like back to school time. We're all getting back into learning, and this goes for parents as well when we're talking about teaching our kids good financial habits, right?
Absolutely. Yep, and it starts at a young age. So, you know, when they're born, I have a lot of new parents coming to me and, hey, I want to open a savings account. It's a great time to open like a CD, just to start kind of building that and getting into the habit of it. You know, and it used to say, I think on a slide we have, it says start college fund at 5. Nowadays, with how aggressive it is, there you can see it. You know, a lot of people are starting college funds literally when they're born, with the price of college just going through the roof. That just gives you a couple more years to get that interest and catch up to the, I can't imagine how much it'll be in 18 years.
Oh my goodness, no, I know. Okay, so waiting till 5, that you're waiting too long. Okay, so you started with birth, start with a savings account. What do you have there for a recommendation at age 2?
At age 2, you can do like a CD and start earning a little bit of money. CD rates are a little lower, but they're still a safe investment. Some people might want to get with a financial person and maybe do some stocks and so forth to be a little more aggressive, just because you have some of that time to use. But CDs are a great place to start till you build it up a little more, and then you can maybe slide some over and get a little more aggressive with it.
I know my kids both have savings accounts, and it's nice that then grandma and grandpa, gifts-wise, they can just make deposits right into their accounts.
Exactly, and I would start bringing them in as young as like 3, just to get used to going into the bank and making those deposits. I remember going in and dating myself, the old passbook, and going in and making that, so they get to understand what a bank is, and this is where you put your money and you can save it and for the future and so forth. So I think getting into those habits at a young age is super important.
Jumping ahead, because we already talked about age 5, college savings, might want to start that sooner.
Yep.
At age 8, you say education.
Education, yep, and we have fantastic online, it's called our Bonsai program. You go to townandcountry.org, and they have things for 8-year-olds, and then they have another teen program too, which is fantastic, especially for some of those that homeschool, or some, you know, we don't always get maybe as much in the schools that we'd like to. And this is the time of year too that I go to high schools and give the living on your own classes, kind of my credit speech and so forth. So I absolutely love doing that. But it's a great tool at home that you can work with your kids. There's some games and there's some educational things there to walk them through. It's just fantastic.
Okay, so I feel like this is a question a lot of parents have. When should my child have a debit card or a credit card? And there are a lot of different options out there now too.
Absolutely, yep. We do have like a teen Visa card. You know, depending on the child, it's going to vary a little bit. But I see most kids, 12, 13, they will have a checking account, obviously with a parent on there, and they'll have their own debit card, just because if they're out with friends, they need to use it, and it gets them kind of savvy on what's going on. You know, they're using the mobile apps the whole 9 yards. Some of them even ended up showing mom and dad how to use some of that stuff. And then at 14, you could get them a Visa card, obviously with the parent, the teen Visa, just to start building that credit score, because it does take 6 months. And then at 13 or 14, more so 14 or 15, start saving for that first car.
Right, they're getting their permits, they're ready to
yeah, I know, I couldn't wait. On my birthday, I took my test, and thank God passed, and got my first car a little bit later, after I got my first job at Hornbacher's back in the day. So. But yeah, it's just saving for that card, and we do have some teen loans, kind of starter loans for the kids that are 19. Obviously, we do have to have a co-signer on that. But just getting that education and getting around there and using the tools that are out there, because kids are pretty savvy these days, and obviously, you know, with the debit cards at such a young age and everything, to really start them from making that first deposit at 3 to getting the debit card at 11, 12, 13 to getting the car loan. And that way when they hit 18, it's not something new. That, you know, they're used to it, and they're used to the budgets and everything else, and just getting those good fundamentals set up at a young age goes a long way.
So you do speak to students in schools. Is there an online resource that people can go check out through Town and Country?
If they want, they can reach out to our marketing team or myself. I think I've been to every high school. I just love doing it, because sometimes I don't feel like we get the education. You know, they have sections on it, but geez, we should do a whole semester. So
I agree.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
like
they can reach out. I'd love to come out to the high school classes and give some talks. We have a fun time with it. Just kind of some real life scenarios, and it's usually juniors and seniors, and things that they're going to do, what's a credit score, what goes into all that fun stuff. But you know, it's the millennials kind of get a bad rap. But you know, what I've seen is they're pretty conservative. But getting that good base and that knowledge is kind of what kicks it all off.
It's crucial. Tony, thank you for coming in today and reminding us not to neglect the teaching of finances to our kids as well. Stay with us. Coming up next here on North Dakota Today, we're bringing in some sparkle and shine as we check in with Jeff from A Cutting Edge.